Welcome to Greek Verse a Day. Today we're translating Revelation 1 verse 14. As always, I encourage you to work from your reader's edition of the Greek New Testament to get your practice reading and translating from there, and use what I give you on the screen here as a helpful guide for your work from the text itself. So as always, we'll read it twice. I'll give you a chance to pause and do some work on your own, and then I'll jump in and give some information here. So let's start with a slow reading. He de kephale autou kai hai trixes lukai hos erion lukon hos kion kai hoi ophthalmoi autou hos phlox puros. One more time, a little bit faster. He de kephale autou kai hai trixes lukai hos erion lukon hos kion kai hoi ophthalmoi autou hos phlox puros. So go ahead and pause here, taking a look at your reader's edition, see what you can make of this verse, and when you unpause, I'll give you some information. All right, so remember what we are dealing with here. John has just told us that he has seen in the middle of seven lampstands one like a son of a human, or one like a son of man, standing in the middle of those lampstands, and he has begun to describe this one like a son of man. And so what's going to happen for the next several verses is John's going to continue in the descriptive mode, telling us what this one like a son of man looks like. This is characteristic of Revelation, to provide long descriptions of things. Revelation is a text that is vivid and descriptive. It's meant to sort of inflame the imagination and offer us sort of a picture that we can imagine what's going on in our minds. So we have he de kephale autou. This autou is going to be a genitive personal pronoun showing possession, namely his, and the him here, or the who it belongs to, the his, is the one like a son of man. It's referring back to, in the previous verse, that is its antecedent, the one like a son of man. And he de kephale is going to be his head in a nominative phrase here. And notice that de is stuck in between the article and the noun that it goes with. And that is because de is grammatically called what? Why is it in this second position? There's a fancy word for it. That's right, it is post-positive. It will never be first in a clause or a sentence. So it pushes itself second and interrupts the he and the kephale. So his head, kai hai trixes, and his hairs. So you're going to get a note for this one in your reader's edition because it's a somewhat rare word. And his hairs, lukai. So notice that lukai, this I ending, goes back with this high. Both of these words are going to be feminine nominative plurals, and we get that information not only from their endings. This one is a third declension, this one is first declension, but also from the definite article here. So this lukai is matching tricase, and it is an adjective that is in predicate position. That is, there is no article before it. If there was an article before it, it would be in attributive position. And remember, when we have an adjective in predicate position, we're going to stick in an English to be verb. In this case, because we have a plural, we're going to do are. So you can think of the to be verb as sort of standing in the space between the predicate adjective and the noun that it's modifying. So his hairs are white. And then all of this that comes after is going to describe the whiteness of the lukai here. White, hos, as or like wool, white wool, lukon. So this here is an adjectival phrase that goes together. Notice lukon, on, erion. These endings match one another. They are, so we have an attributive adjective here with no article at all. So there's no article here. This is an indefinite phrase. And so we have as white wool. So because it's an attributive adjective, we're actually going to, in English, want to put the adjective before the noun. Leucon is white. Arion is wool, so white wool. And then this hos kion is further describing this whiteness, white as snow. So his hairs are as white wool, white as snow. So you can think of sort of as this kion describing this whiteness and this white wool describing the hairs. It's sort of a chain moving backwards in the descriptive mode. So to put this part together, because then we get a chi that's going to give us a nice break to move on to another part of the verse here. And his head and his hairs are white as white wool, white as snow, or white as wool that is white as snow. Then on to our next phrase here, we have another nominative, kai hoi ophthalmoi. So ophthalmoi is our word for eyes, an optometrist. This is where comes from the Greek word for eyes, ophthalmoi, optometrist. And then another genitive personal pronoun showing possession, so his eyes. And then hos phlox puros. So this another descriptive phrase here, hos meaning as or like. And then we have two different third declension nouns here. Phlox is the word for flame. And so if you were to look this up in your lexicon, you would find it like this. Phlox, phlogos, hey. So it's a feminine word, and it's third declension, which is why when you look it up in the lexicon, you would get the genitive form here. So the genitive form would look like phlogos. So remember sasia in the third declension, sasia esonsias. And so, but what we have here is the nominative feminine singular. Right here. And then puros is actually going to be in the genitive case. So if you were to look up this one in your lexicon, you would find puros ta. So this one is a neuter word. And because we have it in the genitive, so if we were to look it up, we have this os ending from sasia esonsias in the third declension, is going to be in the genitive, so it's going to be a flame of fire. Remember, of is our sort of go-to translation for the genitive. So to put our description of the Son of Man's face and head area all together, we have and his head and his hairs are white as wool that's white as snow, and his eyes as a flame of fire, a singular flame of fire there.